if you go to Inside Mazda, you can probably see some more of the photos. But so for the CX9, what it has on the inside is it has captain's chairs in the second row, but it's the ones with the pass-through. So it's if you've seen some of the photos, we have two types of captain's chairs. There's the captain's chairs with a center console for the second row, and there's also the one with the empty pass-through. So that way it's easy to get into the third row. So it's equipped with the latter one. It also gets wireless phone charging built into it. So it's kind of, if you're a little bit familiar with the layout of a CX9, there's like right below like the radio and AC stuff, and right ahead of the shifter, there's like a little pocket. That's where the wireless charger will be embedded. So for me, that's typically where I put my phone anyways, either there or the cup holder. So it's kind of a natural placement there. So this CX9 gets it new overall for 2021. But it's also going to be included as part of the Carbon Edition package. You can kind of see a lot of the other features here. All of these have both the Bose sound system, heated steering, heated front seats. For CX5, as I mentioned, it's available in both the turbo and non-turbo version. What's interesting is the trimming on here. It has a black trimming, and it has like this honeycomb type of pattern. So it gives it a nice texture, a little bit something different than your standard, simple designs or whatnot. Mazda 6 also gets one. It's a hairline. It's a hairline design. I was told, I'm not the designer, but I was told by the designer it's a very popular term. For me to describe it, it's these really fine, like almost like vertical lines that kind of give it a nice texture. It almost like that brushed nickel kind of look, but it's on black. There's also some red stitching on the dash, and then these seats you get a black like cross stitching down the middle of the red seat. So it's a nice contrast. It's really, really for those people that really want to stand out, have these different colors. And these are Mazda's newest colors, so it's nice to bring these to the vehicles that you've known and loved for a couple of years now.
Justin, well, these will be still produced in Salamanca, Guanajuato, correct?
Some are going to be produced there, and some are produced in Japan. So those are our two biggest like plants. I have to go back and look specifically where each car line is built in, but those are the two sources. Yes, Japan and Mexico.
Justin, would it be a CX30 Carbon Edition?
Well, you have to look at it this way. CX30 is already available with the polymetal and the red interior. So it's more about bringing that exclusive design. Because so if you look at it, Mazda 3 and CX30 are our latest generation of vehicles, which introduced those new colors. These vehicles, have been around for a couple of years now. So it's rather than changing these vehicles for something different, it's more about bringing some of the new technology and new designs to our existing vehicles, and just kind of helping our product family as a whole, like just be consistent, grow, and be more pleasing to all of our audiences.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
Yep. So finally with that, I'll jump over to CX5 and CX9, that vehicle has received, these two vehicles have received some of the most significant updates, I guess, for 2021 in a while. So starting with, for both of them, they're both going to get a 10.25-inch large center display, which is basically the largest display that we've had in any Mazda, at least that I've been around. I think the CX30 and the Mazda 3 have an 8.8-inch. The largest that we've put in a CX9 was a 9-inch. So having 10.25 inches is a lot of real estate. But at the same time, the design and layout is very clean, and our goal is to not be distracting. It's still, it's controlled by the commander knob because we feel like that's the best way to avoid distracted driving. And the interface, it's hard to tell in this photo, but the interface is basically what you've seen in the Mazda 3 and the CX30. So it's the new Mazda Connect layout, the new font style, the new everything, which our goal was to be minimalist, clean, and just kind of put the important information there for you. With that, it's also going to get the Mazda connected services and in-car Wi-Fi hotspot that the CX30 currently has, and the Mazda 3 is getting. So it's nice to add these features to the CX9 and CX5, which we've slowly, as you've seen with CX9 a couple of years back, we added signature. CX9 always had signature, so they were always kind of our premium, CUVs. And then just adding more features to it really helps build a popularity around these two vehicles. For CX9, we went even further by adding some more design features. So the photo in the bottom left, you can see the captain's chairs with the center console. I don't know if Zach, if you want to zoom in a little bit, I'm not sure if you can do that, but there's this diamond pattern. Yes, you can see it it's subtly there. So there's this diamond stitching pattern on the seats first in the front and the second row. And it's just, and as well as the piping. So those are all new. And really what that does is just kind of elevates the first class feeling that you have in this car. This car is, it's basically kind of like the designer's dream of like everything we can do without any compromise. So adding that there.
Exhilarating elegance.
Yes. As you mentioned, it's exhilarating because it has the turbo, it has all-wheel drive. It's our biggest SUV, but it handles like a car, which is always great. And then just adding all this elegance features around it is, it helps level it up. The front grille is also brand new, not only in design, but in color. So the titanium gray metallic is a new color and that is being applied on this. This same design, this is for the top signature trim, but this grille design is also going to be on the Carbon edition, but it's just going to be a block. So kind of nice to see that here. The wheels are also a new design. And then on the interior, we're also adding this patterned aluminum interior. It's just a nice touch to it. It's not too shiny or anything, but it gives it a nice, like, it pops amongst all the colors. And then the other thing to add is just the interior. You can see in this one is white, but it's also going to be available in the Couture brown for the top trims. So you have an option of a light or a dark. But I think that pretty much wraps up the key updates for 2021, at least. We did announce CX3, the 2021 CX3 is still going to be available, as well as the 2021 Mazda 6. So those are the big things I wanted to share with you all. But if you guys have any questions for any other product stuff, or if you have questions for brand stuff. All right, Jaime, what you got?
I got 3 questions.
All right.
I want to take
Hopefully I can answer 2.
Yeah. Well, first, the easy one. I think obviously you guys are still on track with this strategy of invading or becoming a luxury brand, correct? I'm seeing the upgrades. It makes a lot of sense. I think you guys have been doing a fantastic job in terms of design, pricing. And I'm just bringing this up because every time I do the reviews, the live reviews with the vehicles, people are kind of understanding, because it's hard to bring Mazda now to compare with Toyota and Nissan. Now it's in this area where people are, and us, that we're touching the cars and feeling the cars is coming. So is it fair to say that you guys still on track to migrating to that segment?
Yes, definitely. We're always going to be leveling up and trying to get to that position. We feel like we're really close. I think the CX9 is probably the closest one there. I'm sure as you were saying, as you review it, as well as other journalists, we've heard all of the feedback that like all the stuff is there. It's just a matter of getting the people to notice it now. So that's anything from you might not see it on an ad, but the CX9 at the top trim has USB plugs in the 3rd row. Like, how many cars have that? Whether it's your luxury brand or a mainstream brand. But it's just kind of getting that out there to you all, so you guys can share it out to your audiences and let them know, because we feel like that's going to be the strongest way to kind of get it out there. Because like I said, who wants to look at an ad that says, oh, we have rear USB ports? But it's just like all of those little things that we put together to build a whole experience and to elevate it up to that premium luxury space. So yeah, that's still our goal. And I'm glad that you're seeing it and sharing it with your audience.
Yeah, for sure. And well, a little bit of a tricky territory now. I read something last week. I'm not sure. I don't think it's official. So are you guys still on track for the TCR, the Mazda 3 TCR, or or you canceled it?
So as of right now, I guess officially, don't quote me on this, but yes, we've canceled
I'll quote Zach.
it, at least for now. At least for now, we've canceled it for the time being. I think as you can imagine, there was just so many factors against it. just with COVID in particular, affecting many things. Motorsports is barely getting back on track. So we're glad that that's getting going, but we really want to focus in on what's, important for us, which is not just, continuing the brand, celebrating our 100th anniversary, finding ways to give back to the community, and then slowly getting back into racing. So as of right now, officially, yes, it is canceled, but, who knows what the future will hold.
Yeah, no, knowing Mazda, for me, in my mind, there's no question it will come back. But I had a feeling that that's exactly what happened. Redirecting budgets and pretty much priorities on brands. So I get that. And the last question: any updates on the new generation rotary engine? I
don't have updates.
Hey, it's worth a try, right?
Yeah. But I'm excited to get any updates. And I know it'll be a secret that's hard to keep. But definitely, it's something that stays true to Mazda's brand. It's not something we're gonna forget. I think our goals right now is just to make sure we make the best product possible today. So whether that's rotary, whether it's something else, we're gonna do our best to provide the most exhilarating experience, while at the same time still a premium experience. So.
Great. Thank you, guys.
See. Of course.
I have a question, and
sure,
definitely
Ricardo.
you have great product. The interiors on your cars are outstanding, and I remember from the first generation CX9, it was already imprinted that this is something different. It's a car like you don't know where to put it, because it's an SUV, it's a family car, very, very well designed. But I'm more interested on what's coming up in terms of powertrain, as everyone is moving into some type of clean vehicle. And I'm not sure where Mazda stands with either hybrid electrics or anything else that could be coming down in the next 5 years or so.
Definitely. Well, at least the one comment I could say is that while everybody's going toward alternative fuels, while that's happening, Mazda has, like, if you actually look at our EPA numbers and all that stuff, as a whole, like, our brand has actually been in the top, like, number 1 or number 2, like maybe past 4 or 5 years in a row. So we've still been fuel efficient. We've done our best to keep our carbon footprint down, to think of the environment, even though we only have internal combustion engines. So it's kind of nice to know that basically our philosophy is, yes, we're thinking of the environment, we'll move in that direction, but we want to make sure that our engines right now, because gas is like the most abundant fuel source right now. So if we can make our engines really efficient and safe for the environment there, that's a good starting point, and then moving on into something else, rather than just jumping into something else and then forgetting about the internal combustion engine. With that said,
I'm sorry, let me do a follow-up. Is it because you are waiting for the market to stabilize, or what? I mean, what is the reasoning behind it?
Well, what I was just going to get into is that while that's been our philosophy for the past couple of years, and Zach can correct me, but I think it was fall of last year, we did announce MX-30, first in Japan, in Tokyo, which is going to be our first electric vehicle. So we are going to have one. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when it's going to come to the different markets and spread further out. So to that point is like, we weren't necessarily waiting for the market. We were waiting for what was the best time for our technology. So with the constant evolution of our internal combustion engine, now we're adding the electric vehicles, and we're just going to see how that continues to grow from there.
Would this partnership with Toyota is what Mazda is relying upon on that new technology?
I wouldn't say it's relying, but it's definitely it's definitely helpful. I know Toyota has kind of come to us because of our great vehicle dynamics and just kind of having that, and just our efficiency where it's at, and obviously having Toyota's background with their EVs and other advanced technology is, it's no secret that they have a way bigger budget than we do. So kind of merging those together is probably going to have the best results, not just for either OEM, but just for, the automotive world as a whole.
I was watching last night a story on sales and coronavirus, and they say that people are saving money and buying used cars. What is your take on the new market and the rebound of brands, and especially brands that are going for the 2021 market?
Well, we've actually seen a lot of CPO sales kind of at record levels. So yeah, that people are certainly buying. I know the used car market as a whole is up, but also the CPO market's up. For us, I think even just brand new car sales are up too. So I think it depends on the brand of where that product is priced. I think we're in a position where we have pretty competitively priced products. So we attract a lot of eyeballs for new buyers, especially when they cross shop probably vehicles that are a little bit higher or kind of at the highest end of their range if they were in a good position or if the economy was a little bit better, and we're benefiting from that too. So yeah, for us, it's a great mix right now and resulting in some fairly positive sales across the board.
Mazda has a very good high resale value, it's very strong.
Mm-hmm.
That speaks volumes of the quality of the car and the acceptance from the people, to the car. So
yeah, and as we've progressed, we've seen that it's a byproduct of the design being enhanced over the last few years. We're seeing the residual value increase.
What is the current status of the Mazda CX5 diesel? I know it skipped the 2020 model year.
That we don't have an update on. So once we have something, we'll share it, but there's no, I guess, confirmation yet of if and when it would be available again.
do you know what percentage of Hispanic buyers Mazda has?
I don't have that offhand, but we can look into that.
Yeah, I would like to find out, and also if there's a breakdown, are they buying more Mazda 3s or CX5s or where?
Yeah,
Does that help us also to direct the content?
Definitely, it'd be interesting to see those numbers. I know we have it somewhere. And this could be a little bit dated, but I do remember seeing something a while ago that I think CX9 was pretty popular with Hispanic media. I think that goes along with it's a great driving car and it's a family vehicle as well. And obviously the Hispanic community is really tight with their families, so I think it really works well with them. I want to say MX5 was also pretty popular too because why not? Yeah, Zach can get those numbers to be sure. But that's kind of what I
that information, Zach. When you go deeper on that information, also will be great to understand in the current figures how important was the Hispanics preference in your brand, because we hear from other automakers that the growth that they are experiencing or part of the growth or part of the how they are managing the crisis is because they are getting more and more Hispanics buyers. If you can check the figures and give us some clues about it, will be great.
Certainly, yeah, we'll follow up with that.
Thank you.
Any updates on what's happening with Skyactiv X and when we can expect to see it in the US?
Oh, asking all the good questions. We don't have an update on that for the US, but it's still, a very popular and promising powertrain for Japan and Europe, who's got it first. So it's just kind of, I guess, it's new technology. So once we get more feedback from, Japan and headquarters or whatnot, then we'll be able to trickle that down to media and whatnot on that availability.
I think the whole proposal of Skyactiv and, in reducing mass and making everything, more compact and sturdier, it's quite an interesting approach, and definitely you have shown that it's possible to do. And I just don't know how much you can do. I remember from the first time that I saw the first Skyactiv piston, and on the transmission when you decided not to have that extra gear to save the weight. I don't know what else can be done. I'm just amazed.
Oh, we'll figure out something. We'll figure out something.
System, there's a lot of technology there that unfortunately for your average consumer, it's hard to understand, and it's even hard to explain how much does improve on the efficiency. And Skyactiv, it's definitely one of the best combustion engines in the market, no doubt.
Yeah, definitely. I think you can look at MX5 as one of the better examples. So for 2019, we when we increased the horsepower by what was it? It was I forget now. It was 155. It jumped to 181. So that jump in horsepower, and it's basically the same engine. So it was just a matter of tuning, just, you know, some slight modifications to whether it's the piston or engine components, or you know, re-engineering how the exhaust pipes were to kind of free up the restrictions. It was just things like that on the same engine, and we gained that much horsepower. So it's like every time you think we can't do anything else, we'll pull out something crazy. So I have faith in our engineers that that it's only going to keep getting better.
Questions? Come on, guys. It's all yours.
Are you still on for the auto show in LA?
Well, I just saw speculation on Auto News that it's not officially announced, but it looks like it's going to happen in May now. They're moving it, right?
Well, I have a meeting scheduled with LA Auto Show. We talk almost every week, and again, at this point, it seems like it's a rumor. Nothing has been confirmed. You know, Terry is not telling us anything. So, but we should know probably by Friday.
Yeah, but to that point, yeah, we're still in touch with a lot of the auto show people, whether it's LA, Chicago, New York, or whatnot. So we're just kind of assessing each situation, you know, as it goes. Obviously, our safety, you know, not just to everybody in general, but to our employees is important. So we'll look at that first. And then, you know, other than that, you know, just like how we're doing right now, we're just always going to be looking for virtual opportunities. It's a nice challenge for us, you know, just going back to what we were talking about, just looking at ways to do things differently, but still have that human connection and chatting with you guys, engaging with you, seeing all your faces. So whether there's an auto show or not an auto show, we'll be present for you all.
Okay, we are doing there the mathematics. If you don't have auto show, your sales are only 5% down. You have a lot of money to spend. No, I'm kidding. You can do great things with Hispanic media. No, absolutely. I know that's a very absolutely difficult situation, and it's a worldwide phenomenon. It's not only that you're doing right here in US. There are other markets, but I mean, you always could count in our support. And I mean, I think it's a great initiative that Ricardo is doing these meetings, and at least we still have in contact, virtual contact, but at least virtual contact.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for